I don't say this lightheartedly, but Tesla is going to have some serious competition over the next 5 years. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I have a banger of a video which you definitely need to watch, especially if you like investing in EV companies, just like me. I'm going to be talking about the main points taken away from Volkswagen's Power Day, which was hosted on the 15th of March this month, and why you should consider adding them to your portfolio. Before this video does start, make sure to smash that like button and hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Since my last upload, we've gained an extra 6 subs. We are that much closer to the 100 subscriber milestone, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. With all that being said, let's get into it. As you know already, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so if you do want professional help, you will have to look elsewhere. Okay, for those who are unaware, the German car manufacturer Volkswagen hosted their Power Day on March the 15th, 2021. Here they spoke about the new ID4 car model, battery technology, and their production plans going forward regarding electric vehicles. The whole presentation itself was around 2 hours long and was streamed on YouTube, but I've gone through it and I'm going to summarise a couple of points which you're going to need to know. Now, these are very important factors if you are considering buying into the VW stock, because it's going to affect the company's performance in the long term. Volkswagen is a huge brand in the automotive sector. As well as the VW brand, they actually own 12 different brands, such as the likes of Seat, Audi, Skoda, Bugatti, Bentley, Lamborghini, Ducati and Porsche. I bet some of you didn't know that. This market dominance allows them to target and sell vehicles to every type of consumer, with the cheaper cars offered by Seat, Skoda and some VW cars, and the more expensive luxury cars moving up from Porsche to Lamborghini and Bugatti. Volkswagen are a well-established brand and have been in the game for a long time, having founded in 1937 Berlin. Since then, they have grown and developed a very large market share across Europe while still maintaining great levels of consumer satisfaction. This strengthens the loyalty they have towards the Volkswagen brand, resulting in repeat purchase, therefore putting more money back into the company. Factors like this are very important for companies, as it can sometimes determine the success of new product lines that are introduced. In this case, it would be the range of electric vehicles, and as we all know, at the moment there is a massive shift happening from diesel and petrol cars to environmentally friendly and sustainable vehicles.
We prepare now the second wave of industrialization with the next generation of technology.
In 2020, VW tripled their electric vehicle sales from 2019 figures, hitting 134,000 units sold. The total is 212,000, but that takes into account hybrid cars as well, so for this I'm just focusing on electric cars. This stat is definitely aided by the release of their car, the ID3. This car was released in September 2020 and all the first editions have already sold out. As well as the ID3, Volkswagen passenger cars launched 9 new electric plug-in hybrid models in 2020. This brought the share of battery electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles in Europe up to 12.4% of the brand's total deliveries, after only 2.3% in 2019. This is a massive difference. The most popular model was the ID3 with 56,500 units sold, even though this only came on the market in September. These 56,500 cars have already been delivered to customers, with over another 13,000 more being ordered. Now, excuse me for not knowing who said this, but in quote marks, even though it was only introduced in the second half of the year, it ranked in the top of the sales charts in many countries almost right away. Whether this is due to the attractiveness of the ID3 model or the brand loyalty I mentioned a minute ago, these figures are very impressive. I've looked at some reviews on YouTube and the ID3 is a very good family car. It has a slick, modern interior design which is very smooth on the road and is easy to drive. I'm sure this product is going to continue to do well going forwards, with sales across Europe and hopefully in America at some point. Enough about the ID3, let's talk about the ID4. The ID4 is an electric SUV and it looks very similar to the VW, I've never been able to pronounce this, what was it, Tiguan? Taygun. I really do like the design of this car. As you can see on the screen, here is the front, back and interior photos. And on Volkswagen's Power Day, they did announce a couple of facts which I took an eye to. One of them was to do with ultra fast charging. The Volkswagen ID4 Pro, I don't know if this is just a Pro or the standard edition car, has a range of 450 kilometers or 280 miles. And this is what I found interesting. The charging time today is currently 25 minutes. Within 5 years, they plan to more than half that to 12 minutes, which is massive improvements. In the presentation, Volkswagen also spoke about their vertical integration strategy with charging units and batteries. This will allow them to cut a lot of costs for their future and is a similar strategy to what Tesla are doing at the moment, as they own the company that provides the batteries for their cars. I'm not going to speak on the chemistry side of things of how they're improving their batteries with anodes and cathodes and all of that kind of stuff. I'm just going to stick with the juicy, meaty stats which you're going to need if you want to buy into the stock. Although the chemistry side of things does make a big difference on the company's performance, I don't want to bore you or overcomplicate things. Plus, I don't know that much about it myself, I just briefly saw it. Anyway, by 2030, VW will build 6 gigafactories, not plans to build, it will build 6 gigafactories with its partners. They plan to switch 80% of their vehicles to its unified battery cell by 2030, spanning across several brands. And here's another point I found really interesting. Volkswagen aims to build thousands more charging stations in Europe along with energy giant partners, bringing 18,000 charging points to locations in Europe by 2025. You might not think 18,000 charging stations is a lot, but if you looked on a map and there was a red dot for every charging station, it would cover a lot of ground across Europe. And these charging stations aren't even the main focus of VW, it's the sales of their cars, which are clearly already doing well. Speaking of doing well, the real money maker in this scenario for me and you is the VW stock. In the build up to this announcement over the past week, Volkswagen has been flying up. Yesterday they saw a 6% day, today is another 6% day. Obviously the market could finish at a different time when I'm recording this. They've done 42% over the past 3 months, and over the past year have done 122%. Now this was from the crash back in March, so every stock was at probably one of their lowest points in the past decade. Regardless of that, VW has had a very good recovery and they now sit at around 215 euros per share. You're probably looking at this yearly graph thinking, what on earth happened in 2015? They had a little bit of an issue with testing the car's emissions on monkeys. And I know animal testing goes on all the time, but when it gets publicly released, it's not going to be good news for shareholders, so they're going to panic and sell, which is exactly what happened. Regardless of that, it is all in the past and we're all focusing on the future, that 2030 vision for the EV market. There is a reason why I bang on about EVs like NIO and Tesla and now Volkswagen so much. It's because that is where the market is going to be in the future. And I know people say that stocks like NIO and Tesla already have their future potential priced in, but do they really have all of it priced in? Tesla hit just short of 500,000 cars sold in 2020, and this is going to go up a lot more in the next 5 years. Not only that, the energy sector is also booming as Tesla hold a very large market share of their clean energy. Both of these contributions towards the company are only going to get better and improve over time, which is going to be more attractive for people to buy into the stock. So when these numbers do get released in the years to come, people are only going to buy in more. If they're seeing an increase in revenue figures, sales, all of this good stuff in 2025, 2030, the stock's just going to keep going up. This applies for all car manufacturers that are shifting over to EV, especially Volkswagen. They already have the economies of scale to shift over to another type of car, like electric vehicles. Straight away, this gives them a competitive advantage over other companies, and I hate to use these as an example, but NIO and XPeng and Li and all of the Chinese cars. Although there is massive growth potential in China, and I do like to back up my Chinese EV companies like NIO, you always have to bear in mind the big boys in the industry. I can refer to some of my previous videos when I say this, but every car manufacturer that you know at the moment, not even cars, every vehicle manufacturer that you know at the moment is shifting their production to electric vehicles right now as we speak. This is why you've got to buy the rumour and sell the news, but not even sell the news, is more of hold for 5 years and make even more money than you would have after the news has come out. If you bought into VW before the news started to come out, you would be up a lot of money at the moment because the stock has been doing amazing. The only reason why other automakers haven't announced stuff like this yet is because they need a very high probability of their plans going forwards and working for the future, so they can't come out and publicly state it if they're not confident that it's going to happen. As much as I do love Tesla, and I'm going to be holding my position for at least 5 years going forwards because of their long-term growth potential, I do want to diversify into other EV manufacturers, one of them being Volkswagen. Anyway guys, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you did enjoy, and I hope I managed to enlighten you on what Volkswagen is planning for the future. If you did pick up anything new from this video, or you are planning on adding Volkswagen to your portfolio, leave a little comment below. Make sure you like the video if you haven't already, and hit that subscribe button just as a little way of giving back to me. Stay safe and go make some money. I'll see you in the next one.